It's a great way to start conversations about what's going on in there, is to have a giant conspicuous tent over your boat. So there's been a lot of questions in the marina about what exactly is happening in there and how extensive is the project. So in order to reduce the number of questions, I'm going to switch gears, forget about the interior for now, and we're gonna get the outside done. We're gonna get the deck finished. That way we can then take off the tent. Because once the tent's gone, then we just look like another ugly boat in the marina that's just sitting there. So what we need to do is get everything on the deck done, so that way we can take the tent off and the boat is then rainproof. So got a long ways to go, but once we have that done, then we can quietly work on the inside of the boat without drawing so much attention to ourselves. So that's where we are. So right now, the first thing we need to do is figure out what is the shape we want the hard top to have and the hard dodger, and then build that. On Windpuff, we're making a bunch of changes to the boat to make it a better ocean cruiser. Now, some of the things like the transom overhang or the transom extension that I did, that you do not need to do on any boat ever. But we did it because we wanted it for reasons that we've cited before, and I'm really glad I have it. So, but moving on to things that you actually need to do on a sailboat to make it ready to go out in the ocean. One, all the tabbing we've been doing inside. We've been adding tabbing on all the bulkheads. We've added additional bulkheads that it didn't have. Just a lot of structural reinforcement inside. Now we're pausing all of that because the boat is not very pretty in the marina with a giant tent on it. And it raises a lot of questions about what's going on in there. So to quell those questions, I'm going to stop working on the interior and just focus strictly on the exterior. Get the deck done, make it rainproof, take the tent off, and then we can build the inside without looking like a giant work site in a marina. So one of the main things we need to get done is the hard dodger. Now this is where Maddie's input is just like the most valuable thing in the world, because I love function and she loves form, and we're married, and thankfully it works out well when you get a compromise of form and function. So I wanted to squeeze a buttload of solar panels onto this boat. We're going to get about 3 kilowatts of power out of everything. That said, we needed to have the solar panels start a little bit beyond the front of the hard dodger and end all the way at the back of the boat. So the boat would look like a station wagon, pretty much, with a giant hard top that's just nothing but solar panels. Not pretty. We're going for pretty here. So May and I talked, we looked at it, and we're going to shorten it significantly. So the hard top, instead of being a whopping 12.5 feet long, will be more in the lines of 8-ish, about 8 feet long. So significantly shorter. And that then makes it look like pretty much every boat that has the Dodger and then the Bimini and then an exposed part of the cockpit. So we're going to keep that look, and in it we're going to fit a bunch of solar panels, much less solar panels, but I have an idea to still get a ton of extra solar panels on this thing. So that's the situation there. We did a quick mock-up. Now another big thing, I wanted to build this whole hard dodger out of polyester and be solid fiberglass. It would be super strong, super heavy. And the heavy part's the issue, because we're going to be putting about 300 to 400 pounds of solar panels on the roof of this thing. And the roof of this thing is going to be pretty high up. It's about shoulder high on me. So that means that we'd be really top heavy. Not great, especially out in the ocean. You don't want to have a lot of weight up high, because that's just going to pull you over. So we can't make the solar panels lighter, but we can make the hard dodger lighter. And the way to make that lighter is do a core. So I'm going to be doing a cedar core, and we're going to do like they do with canoes and pretty much all strip plank boats. You do cedar, you edge glue it, and you strip plank it, you build the whole thing. Actually, I'm not really doing strip planking. Strip planking is much more labor intensive. I'm just planking this thing. We're gonna make the the form out of epoxy and cedar, and then we're going to cover the whole thing with a bunch of fiberglass with epoxy. So I wanted to have the whole outside of the boat be done with polyester, that way I don't have to worry about what's polyester and what's epoxy. But that ship has sailed. Now we are going to have the hard Dodger be in epoxy because it needs to be. That way it can be a lot lighter. So we're going to get a ton of strength and not all the weight, so that way we can then have the weight in solar panels. Now another big important thing of this is we're checking out our visibility. I want to be able to see the bow from the helm because I can't do that on Wisdom. Makes docking so much fun. We literally call it bow eyes. One of us will go forward in a marina and just stand at the bow and look and tell what's happening up there to the one that's steering, because you can't see back there. If I can get the tent off before fall, sweet, then we look like a normal boat. If it gets too close to winter, nobody cares because everyone's shrink wrapped in winter and no one's coming around. So then I'll take it off in the spring. But either way, we got to get the boat looking like a boat again. That way I get to stay in the marina and don't have to drive ridiculously far to somewhere that the boat's on the hard. Because the reason I'm doing this in the water is as I shift the weight of the boat, because I put things places, I can see in real time how am I sitting. Like right now, I got a bunch of lumber piled up on the port stern quarter, and the boat is listing the port and it's listing aft because that's where the wood is. So when I want to check, you know, how's something sitting before I go on to the next thing, I get all the weight off the boat, look at the thing, see where's it sitting, how's it floating, and then, you know, plan accordingly. Because that changes, am I going to build it out of 1/4 inch plywood or can I use 3/4 inch plywood? Like all those things come into play with how much weight do I need to have in this part of the boat to offset the thing that's in the other part of the boat. Up front's the tricky part. I don't want it to be a flat surface. I want it to have a compound curve to it that way it makes an arch, because arches are incredibly strong and it needs to be. Here's how it works. You have cedar for the core. It's not given any strength, but it's being a core material. It's very rot resistant. It's also very cheap. And you put the cedar in, and then you put fiberglass 1708 stuff both sides of this guy. Build it up. The 1708 gives it just an immense amount of strength. It's structural fiberglass. So we're going to do that with the epoxy. So it's going to be 2 layers on the inside, 4 layers on the outside. Now we really only needed 3 layers on the outside, but adding that 4th layer just explodes the amount of force that this thing can withstand. And to make it even stronger yet, on the corners we're going to put a 5th layer. So it will be insanely, ridiculously overbuilt, but not having that much added weight in the process. So that's where we are. So that's great and all, but right now we have some sticks and some boards just screwed together on the deck of the boat, and they're quite shimmy. They flex around a lot, so we got to make them really strong. So we got the inside of the 3 boards on each side glued together lightly, loosely, very roughly. So all we're really gonna do is just go building them up and make them stick together. It's kind of like edge gluing because it's runny filler, so it kind of soaks in a bit, but this is by far not the strong thing that's gonna be holding it together. We're gonna get the inside done. We get everything kind of all glued together in pieces, and then we start sanding. We can take the frame off and start really building the structure. I don't know if I'm making any sense. It is so hot in here. I'm done, and this shall continue in cooler weather because it's just working in a greenhouse. I got to get this done as quickly as I can, and that means that you have to work when you can work. Once this is done, then we're gonna move on to the cockpit. After the cockpit, then we're gonna work on the Samson post and the anchor windlass. That's pretty much the order of operations for what we're doing right now. So it's just glue it together, get it hold in place, That way then we can go and start building it and making it structural. Now, how wide are the windows, all that? I don't know. As you can see, there's no end over here. So we need to figure out where is it going to end, pretty much make the entire established area that the windows are going to occupy, then figure out how wide are the frames, all that. I want to build it with 3/8 inch tempered glass, which is going to be really heavy. Rough calculation is going to be about 100 pounds in glass. We're going to throw another 100 pounds of solar panels on top of this. And yeah, and then the Dodger itself is going to weigh roughly around 180 to 200 pounds. So it's going to be a lot of weight up here, which thankfully is going to be offset by the added weight of the water tanks and the batteries that are going to be in the bilge. It's just one step at a time, little baby steps. Sadly, there's no kit that you can just go buy that's like, hey, here's a hard Dodger, I'll take it off the shelf and put it on my boat. You have to just start somewhere. And in my case, it's a very rough start. As we go further along, then we can make it a more refined start. But you always start with a rough ashlar, and then you chip away the rough corners to bring out the perfect ashlar that's hiding in there all along.
Thanks for watching this episode of Sailing Wisdom. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next Rigging Doctor episode. And if you're interested in even more Rigging Doctor awesomeness, consider becoming a patron to see all of our extras. Can't wait to see you next time as you join us out here on the high seas.